Hello, I'm Bill Cox. In this video, I'd like to show you how the three non-math PassGED websites can help you get 3/4 of the points on writing questions in the GED Science Test, the GED Social Studies Test, and the GED Language Arts Test. I'll begin in the web page passged.weebly.com, and here are links to all four of the PassGED websites. I'm going to bring up the science website, which you can't see on your screen, the social studies website, and the language arts website all side by side. So here is, for example, the science website. Now, in each of these tests, about 15 to 20% of the points come from the writing questions, but they are more important than that because so many people are anxious about them. In the science test, there are two writing questions, so there is a write 1 and a write 2 section in the science website. In social studies and in language arts, there is one write question, and so in each there is one write section in the website. Now, the four questions, 2 in science, 1 in language arts, 1 in social studies, are different, but they share two characteristics. First, you know what the questions will look like, and second, you know that your answers will be graded by a computer, and that the computer cannot evaluate the quality of your writing. All it can do is look for keywords and phrases. So to get 3/4 of the points on these questions, you have to satisfy the computer, not an English teacher. That's kind of sad, but it's true. Now, to satisfy the computer, all three websites use a finish the sentences system. Let's go to the write 1 section in science to see how this works. In step 1 of the finish the sentences system, you see 7 unfinished sentences. And these particular questions ensure that you'll answer the right question, that your response will be well organized, and that you'll include enough keywords and phrases for the computer. You have to memorize these because no notes are permitted on the test. Now, if you look at social studies, you would see a different set of sentences, but the system is the same. If you look at language arts, you would see in the right section, you see a longer set of sentences because the question is more involved. There are 14 sentences, but there is a pattern to them. So I'm going to go back to the first science question and show you an example of how we use this system. In step 1, we've put these unfinished sentences into the answer box of the test. In step 2, we start with these unfinished sentences, which are in boldface, and then using the documents and the sense of the question, we finish the sentences with what's in the material. And so you wind up with this, and if you clean that up, you get something like this. In language arts, you would do the same thing. Let me go to the example. Here in boldface are the unfinished sentences. The regular type is what you add after reading and thinking about, in this case, 2 documents. And then if you clean that up, you'd get something like this in your answer sheet. Now, on language arts and social studies, which looks kind of similar, you have dedicated periods of 45 and 25 minutes for the questions, and so there it makes sense to use step 3 of the finish the sentences system and to revise the drafts you get from the first 2 tests. And so I'll show you here in language arts, this is what, with revisions, you would wind up with. Now, in particular, as the social studies and language arts websites emphasized, you can add transition words like however, therefore, in addition, nevertheless. The computer looks for words like this, believe it or not, to try to judge the quality of your writing. Now, back on the science test, the time you spend writing is not available to work on other questions, since there's only one time period for the whole test. And since each writing question there is only worth about 3 times as much as a short question, it doesn't make much sense to spend time revising in science. Now, the second science writing question, which is in the Write To section, is the hardest one of the whole group, because there you have to finish the sentences not from a document but from your own prior knowledge of how to design an experiment to test a hypothesis. Fortunately, in the science website there is a section on a few essential science skills, and in particular information about how to test a hypothesis, including links to lessons about that. Now, each writing question, as you have seen, has examples in all 3 websites. Where do they come from? Well, the best source is the 3 free practice tests from GED's testing service, but there are not enough examples there. So I have drawn additional examples from Cracking the GED Test, a test preparation book from Princeton Review. It's the only other source I've found in which the questions are like the ones on the real test. If you can't find a copy, you can buy one from Amazon for about $17. So, as you have seen, on each of the 3 math tests, the Finish the Sentences system helps you to answer the right question, to organize your answers, and to include the right keywords and phrases. Using this system, you should be able to get 3/4 of the points on the writing questions in all 3 of the tests. If you can also get 3/4 of the short questions on the non-math tests, and if you can get 150 points on the math test, all of which the GED, PassGED systems can help you do, if you can do that, you can pass all 4 of the tests and get on with your life. Now, in each of the intro sections, there is a page which makes it easy for you to send me your comments and suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. Good luck on the tests.